Sunnyside High School has recently instated new regulations regarding the use of electronic devices during school hours. Although cell phone use is allowed during a student's lunch period, the use of devices such as iPods, Walkmans, and CD players is strictly prohibited.
And it's not a new policy. The policy is that last year, students were allowed to use it just during lunch and before school, after school. But that's a problem.
However, students continue to use their cell phones and iPods in class despite the rule.
By now, high school students need to understand and need to know what rules, simple rules, that's a simple policy, that they have to follow it. And that's a sign of maturity, really. You're not supposed to do something, don't do it. I can understand elementary kids, maybe middle school kids doing it, but not at the high school level.
We asked Assistant Principal Mr. Sanchez on how he feels on when students use their electronic devices during class time.
It's distracting, and I don't know how many of us can listen to a lecture or do schoolwork while we're texting. You know, so we're not, when students get into a classroom, behaviors, distractions should really be limited to zero.
We asked Sunnyside teachers their perspective on electronic devices.
Well, it really doesn't have anything to do with the educational process.
If anyone does have one out, it's a huge interruption of the learning process, and hopefully that's why we're all here, is to get an education.
They should block cell phone signals on campus. Other high schools have done it. I think Sunnyside should look into it.
And that's my job, is to make sure my students are successful. And anytime my classroom's interrupted, it's hard to meet that goal.
They don't have a place in the classroom.
We also asked Sunnyside students their opinion on electronic devices.
I think that it's good that we are able to use our phones sometime during school, but I think we should be able to listen to iPods and stuff during class if we're doing our work and there's nothing else we should do and it keeps us concentrated. Why not?
We should be able to listen to music and stuff, because when we're doing our work, it's all boring, and if you're listening to music, it's you're more into it.
But yeah, I think we should be able to use our phones in class, because if you're a real good student, you could be multitask and text and be able to listen at the same time.
So Sunnyside, before using your electronic devices unauthorized, you better think twice.
If we're talking about electronic devices, if it was my way, we wouldn't have any of those things on campus. They'd be gone.